Our next guest today is Trey Purdom, who is the postmaster of the Springfield Post Office.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Well, Trey, I was thinking about you at Christmas time.
Thank you.
And
I hope you're praying for us.
Unfortunately, I didn't get any. I meant to get you some cheese down there for Christmas, and my postman I did, but I didn't get him down to the office. So anyway, maybe I said I didn't get any Christmas cards out, so I'm gonna try to send Valentine cards.
All right.
But I was thinking about how hard all these people work at the post office, and I know you do all year round, but golly.
The post office it's changed gears. It's really it's different from when I started. We have progressed now to where we have parcel delivery is predominant what we're delivering now. Letter mail has, really slacked off. You talk about Christmas cards. We just don't get the Christmas cards that we used to get. A lot of people, with today's times, with emailing and tweeting and all that good stuff and Facebook, they don't put out the Christmas cards that we used to do. When I started carrying mail, it'd be nothing to come in and, I'd have 8 or 10 2-foot trays of just Christmas cards to put up and deliver. And now it's, we still get some, but we don't get a lot. But the package delivery has really picked up.
Wow, I did not realize that. Mm-hmm. Well, and like you say, in regard to Christmas cards and things, but I do love Christmas cards anyway. Yeah. But and I guess it might be better for the environment not to be sending those out, and I don't know, but everybody does. I've got lots of Christmas cards online.
Right.
And
everybody enjoys getting those greetings.
Too.
Everybody likes to, sometimes it's the only time of the year we touch base with people, our Christmas card list. And
right.
It's nice to get them. It's always, I still get a few and I send out a few, but it just seems like the younger generation, they stay in touch. And
I know.
And so the Christmas cards are, my grandmother, Pauline, she still sends her Christmas cards out. So we get her some Christmas stamps up to her early so she can get those out. But the younger generation seems to be, doing something different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and so now you've got all these packages, whereas, of course, I guess there's always been packages.
Well, there has been, always, especially at Christmas.
Uh-huh.
But now we're seeing, the increase in package delivery as far as people are ordering cleaning supplies and non-perishables. You can go online now and get free shipping. And whether it's on Amazon or Amazon Prime that's out now, we're getting a lot of that. And people are doing all these shopping and ordering online. It's really a good idea. You don't have to go fight the crowds.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend the money and fuel, and if you're like me, I like to eat out whenever I go shopping, so you save that, and so you come home at work, and hopefully they're in a safe, dry spot on your front porch, and, it's like every day leading up to Christmas is like Christmas. You come home and find 3 or 4 presents on your porch that you've ordered, and take them in, get them wrapped, and get them under the tree.
Yeah.
So.
Well, gosh, I didn't think about that, but that is true because all these, I still go to the mall, but and I like seeing all the Christmas decorations. But you're right; these young people who are raising families. They don't have time for all that shopping, and they have to get babysitters or take the kids with them. So they just get online, everybody orders everything online.
An average route in Springfield here, this has really increased over the last 5 years. And 10 years ago, a route during the Christmas period would probably get anywhere from 30 to 50, maybe a big day, 55 packages. And now we had, of course, everything's scanned now, so we can track it. We had routes with over 200 packages a day.
My gosh.
So, we have 9 routes here in Springfield, and you get over 200 packages on these routes, and you can really get, it gets tight in the back in there.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, so and like you said, I mean, people aren't only shopping online at Christmas; it's all year long.
It is.
They're ordering their Pampers or their diapers. Or
We get paper towels. We get, it's not just, we get a lot of clothing. We'll get a lot of, things that shoes and things like that people order online. But it is, it's getting to where people are starting to even order their groceries and things of that, non-perishable items. And, it's working out real well. If you can save yourself a trip, every trip counts. Of course, here in our small town, it's easy for us to go and visit the grocery or visit, the dollar store, Fred's, and things like that. But, in these larger cities, the post office really is going to, and it's to our benefit. It really has. Over the last few years, we were, you heard of us, canceling Saturday delivery and things like that. And it was because of the mail volume decrease and those type of things. But what's helped the post office is we've caught up a little bit with our tracking systems and things like that so that we can compete. And now we're starting to gain some traction. And so we're starting to increase our parcel delivery, which is really, that's a moneymaker for us. And so it's beneficial to our community, but also beneficial to us.
Yeah. So in a way, that's kind of what saved you.
A little bit. I still got a few more years before I can ride off into the sunset. So,
that saved the postal because there was discussion about and we know that through the years, you've closed post offices all around the country.
Correct.
And right here in our own county, we used to have a post office in every little community.
Well, we still do. The post offices, what they have done, like in our community, Springfield is now, it used to be Springfield, Mackville, Willisburg, St. Catherine.
All had their own post offices.
Correct. And they still do. We have reduced hours in some of these facilities. And Springfield is now, I actually oversee, I'm the administrative official over Mackville and Willisburg and St. Catherine. Mackville is open 2 hours a day. St. Catherine's.
I didn't know Mackville's was even open now.
They're open from 8 to 10. And St. Catherine is open 4 hours a day down behind the mother house.
Right.
And, of course, Willisburg, and they're open 6 hours a day.
So Willisburg, Mackville, and St. Catherine. Okay. So I didn't know Mackville. So I didn't even know you could send, when I send a letter, say if I was sending it to someone in Mackville, do I put Mackville and I put their zip code?
Sure.
Guess it's been a while since I've sent anything
That's a
to
good question.
Mackville.
That's a good question. The delivery service does come out of Springfield. The Mackville route does leave from Springfield Post Office. All mail comes to Springfield in the morning. We dispatch to those 3 facilities mail that's going to their P.O. boxes. We have a carrier that runs that direct. And then, but the mail carrier leaves, and both mail carriers out of Willisburg are now stationed in Springfield, and the one route that was in Mackville is now stationed in Springfield. But we access it from Springfield, but we still use their zip code. We use 40078 for Willisburg and 40040 for Mackville. So you would, if you have a friend out on Whitehall Road or Battle Road, you would still use the 440 zip code when you're sending them Christmas cards. When you're sending your Christmas cards.
Yeah. So, of course, I knew I did Willisburg, but so like so your mail carrier takes, is that what you call a mail carrier?
Rural carrier.
Rural carrier
for that area.
So do they stay? Who mans the office itself there?
In Mackville, we have 2 PMRs that work there, Rocky Roughton and Penny Gammons, and they are postmaster reliefs, and they work there daily. They kind of work the schedule out amongst themselves for those 6 days, and
so Monday through Saturday, 2 hours a day.
Correct.
And what time?
8 to 10.
8 to 10. And of course, you still have your P.O. boxes there.
We have our P.O. boxes. Now, the only thing that's changed there, of course, my dad was the postmaster in Mackville. You remember, right? The post office boxes are actually outside now in a rotary cabinet in a covered space to where there's no weather can get to it, but it's in a rotary cabinet where they have their their key and they go get it. And they can get that 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day, then.
And then Willisburg, which I said is open 6 hours, of course, is a 24-hour facility. You can get in and out of there every day. So we have reduced.
It's open so they can go in and just like
Springfield. Just like Springfield, you can come in and out the front door. Yeah, but it has reduced our business hours, but we still try to provide service to where the PO box customers can get. You remember the old days? You used to be able to buy stamps in the lobby. You remember the old coin machines and things? They've kind of gone by the wayside, but
yeah.
But
so do they have a machine where you can get stamps at the?
Not
only when you're open, I guess.
We only sell stamps, but we also have stamps by mail. A lot of people don't know about that. You know, if you want to call the office, we'll be more than glad to send you a stamps by mail form out, and you can order what you want, how many books you want, what kind of book you want, and we'll fill that order and get it back to you the next day, and even send you an extra envelope so you can have it for the next time. So.
So now, so I could call the post office and order, and then you send me a form.
Right. And it's just an envelope, and what happens is,
do you deliver those stamps to me? Is
absolutely.
That what you do?
All you do is in that envelope you'll put your check. Of course, stamps went up Monday. They went up to 49 cents. We did a little fluctuation. We went up to 49, went back to 47. We're back at 49. So $9.80 for a book of 20.
I didn't know that you were going back up. I couldn't believe that there was an actual reduction for the first time in history.
I could explain that to you, but I won't get into all that. But they did go back to 49 as scheduled, and but the post office did a great thing a few years back. Instead of causing all the confusion of rate changes, they did the forever stamp. So the stamps that you've already purchased, they're good. They have forever on them. They're good, legitimate, first-class stamps.
Well, it's a good thing because I bought all those Christmas stamps that I'm going to have to wait now and use for next Christmas.
You're going to save them? Okay. Well, you can save
them.
So
I'll be able to use those next year.
Absolutely. They're always good, no matter what. The forever stamp, that's the great thing about them, is whenever you purchase them, whether you purchase them for 47 or 49, if it goes up again in a few years and you purchase them at 49, they're good no matter what you get for them.
Well, so then, well, gosh, that's pretty neat that you can just call the post office. They'll just bring you an envelope.
On the rural routes, it's been like that for years. What we do on the rural routes is a lot of people just will leave. They might just need one stamp, and they can leave that letter in that box with that 49 cents laying on top, and we carry stamps with us. Our rural carriers. Now, our city carriers, which I know you live in the city, so the city carriers you would need to do the stamps by mail form, but the rural carriers, we actually commission them to carry stamps with them.
Well, that is great. Yeah. So if your rural carrier came to your door and brought your mail, you can say, "Do you have a stamp?
You got a stamp. You got a book."
And they'll just give you, and you just give them your money, and
they keep a little tackle box in their trucks, and they can do the. In the old days, we used to do money orders and everything. That's kind of, people don't really want to do that type of business at their mailbox anymore, but.
But you
in the old days, that's what we used to do. We used to do money orders at the mailbox. Sure did.
But people still come to the post office for money orders, correct?
They can. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I mean, I know other places have it, but you can still get them at the post office.
And I'm glad you brought that up. The great thing about a money order at the post office is it's insured. If you send a money order off, it's to someone, from someone, and only those two people can cash that money order, and they have to show ID at the time of their cashing it. So, say you sent me a money order, you owed me some money for something, which I'm sure you probably do. We need to talk about that later. But all you'd have to do is fill that out to Trey Purdom, from Lisa Haydon. You send it to me. If it's lost in the mail, or I get it and I lose it and don't cash it, after it's gone 60 days, the post office will refund all funds to that.
Wow.
Yeah. To whereas if you purchase a money order at other facilities, I know in talking with other customers, they've had difficulty getting that money back, if ever. But it's guaranteed. It's a guarantee.
You can count on the post office.
You can count on the federal government. That's right.
So, things really have, now, you can go in the post office and, I used to wrap my boxes that I was sending off, for Christmas or birthday. And now you just go in and you've got all those boxes already there.
Those flat rate boxes, all that is free to the public. You know, those flat rate boxes are something that the post office came up to around the time we started in the Iraqi war, because of all the service members that they were sending packages to. And you know, I know my brother served and he was over there, and so I would send him packages, and you know, those things got heavy. If you were sending, you know, we like to send him some candy and some canned goods, maybe some shaving cream and things of those nature. It got really heavy, and so it can be expensive. Those flat rate boxes, no matter what it weighs, when it puts in that box, it ships for that price. So that was a real good thing. We also have other boxes that are not flat rate, that are free, but they are first class priority boxes. And of course, all you have to do is ask. We got some tape, we got address labels, we got it all. So we're glad.
And then you've got those pretty envelopes that are, you know, the bubble stuff in them that are keep things.
Now some of that Ready Post is for sale. We do sell some of that are, you know, that you might be talking about some of that, and that we put out seasonally.
But they're not expensive.
No, just $1 or $2. I mean, it's, we just put that out for convenience, so you don't have to go to 2 places to mail something.
Right.
But the flat rate and the priority stuff is all free.
Yeah. So how much mail goes through the?
Well, the Springfield Post Office, we deliver 5,323 boxes a day. Deliveries. That's how many homes and P.O. boxes that we serve per day. So mail-wise, you know, it fluctuates. It fluctuates by the time of the year. It fluctuates by the time of the month. You know, it's really hard to put your finger on it. You know, some of our big days during Christmas, coming through there, you know, we'd have close to 2,000 parcels a day, which is quite a few when you think about having to get out of that vehicle and go to that door and scan it and everything. But something we didn't bring up about the parcel delivery that I want to talk to you about, I mentioned briefly, was the scanning. Our tracking has, I mean, tenfold has improved. I remember when I carried mail, I remember years ago, remember Danny Carrico, old Danny, he told me, he said, Trey, I was at a meeting, I heard they were going to put barcodes on letters and packages. And I said, that's crazy. Barcodes? What for? You know, and it was so that we could track these things. And I said, it'll never happen. And now everything we deliver has a barcode on it. You know, every parcel we deliver. So I am able to see where that mail carrier is at the time of delivery. So if he's at 153 Lebanon Hill and he's at your back porch and he scans that package, I can tell he's on your back porch. So it has helped us, you know, every now we're all human. Sometimes we make a mistake, misdeliver a package or something. I can tell where he delivered that package. And so we can go back and retrieve it. Or I've had people call me and say, this package shows delivered. I don't have it. It's not in my mailbox. It's not on my porch. And I'll pull this program up and I said, check the garage. He put it in your garage. And there the package is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So it's funny how in my short career or long career or whatever you want to call it, it has progressed and how things have changed for the Postal Service.
Yeah.
From being a, you know, we used to get all of our bank statements and everything through the mail. You know, you don't even think about getting your bank statement in the mail anymore.
Right.
You know, you get some things through it, but most of it's all online. But we have evolved into a different type of delivery service.
So, speaking of your years at the post office, how many years has that been, Trey?
I started in June of 1991. So that is what?
2010.
It'd be 26 this year. I've been 25. I've made 25. How about that?
Wow.
It's pretty good.
And of course your father, rest his soul, he was the postmaster out at Mackville. Did he come to Springfield after that? I think.
No, he started in Springfield. He spent most of his career in Springfield. He was a carrier and a clerk here in Springfield. And then in the, the early 90s, I think it was 93, 92 or 93, he went to Mackville. It was right after I started. Okay. And he went to Mackville as postmaster, and he had.
And he retired.
He could have retired. Dad always talked about retiring. You know, big fisherman.
Oh yeah.
And his thing was, I'm moving to Florida. First day I can go, I'm gone. And the first day came, and he didn't retire. And I remember calling him one time and, Dad, why aren't you, why aren't you retiring? Why don't you, don't take it easy. And he said, I got it easy. You know, Mackville, he loved the Mackville community.
Yeah.
He had a lot of friends out there, and he enjoyed going across the street and eating lunch at the community center there. And he had several people that would bring him sweets, and he just, you know, he loved it. So he kept on going as long as he could.
So he hadn't retired when he got sick?
No, he didn't. He hadn't retired when he passed.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was still the sitting postmaster when he passed.
Gosh, I don't know how many years he had then. Do you know?
He had 36 years. He started when he was 20. He died when he was 56. He had 36 years. Yeah.
Well, anyway, and I guess that's how you got to the post office.
Yeah. You know, when I got out of high school, I went to St. Catherine a semester, and I wanted to go to the University of Kentucky. And I can remember my father, you know, and blunt as he always was, that he said, "You're not college material, and you need to get a job, and you need to go to work." And I was bound and determined to teach him a lesson. And I went on up there to UK and spent a little of his money, and I came on back, and he said, "How about carrying mail?" But no, Mike Elliott.
And that's how you started.
Well, Mike Elliott called me. Daddy called me and said, you know, they've got a part-time position down here just for summer. And at the time, I was cutting tobacco and hauling hay is all I was doing. And so.
And Mike Elliott was the postmaster.
He was the supervisor at the time.
Okay.
And I went in and talked to him, and he hired me on the spot, and I worked that summer, and it just, you know, it's funny about the post office. I tell people all the time when they get started, just hang on.
Yeah.
Just it's a, you know, it can be a good job. You know, here I am. I grew up on Walnut Street, and you know, I'm within a mile where I grew up, and you know, making a living here for my family, and you know, it's a great job, but you got to hang on. Sometimes when you start at the post office, it's kind of tough, you know, as a sub, because you are a sub,
right?
And then you kind of work your way up, and I was able to transfer to Lebanon, and I spent a lot of my career in Lebanon carrying mail, and then I made supervisor there, and then I made postmaster in Vine Grove, Kentucky, and then I traveled the state, and I did route inspections for city delivery, and so I was in just about every facility in the state of Kentucky, and then I was able to earn enough points, I guess, to be able to come home when Springfield opened up, and so they let me transfer home.
Yeah.
So
and be the postmaster here.
And that was 06.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there are how many employees here in Washington County?
We have 9. We have 7 rural routes and 2 city routes.
Okay.
Of course, we have substitutes for just about each route. We only have 1 substitute for the 2 city routes, but we have about 5 substitutes for the rural routes, and you probably know most all of them. And of course, we have 3 great clerks up there that work in Springfield.
Right.
Miss Tanya Stein, Dana Smith, and we're lucky enough to hire Michelle Smith. She's our newest clerk, and then we have Marlene Kasama out at St. Catherine. Great postal employee, fun to work with. And then we have Miss Phyllis Hamilton, been with us a long time. She mans Willisburg for us, and of course I've mentioned the 2 in Mackville.
Yeah. Well, it is a good crew, and I always, I like going to the post office. I like to go stopping in and getting my stamps. And seeing everybody.
Well, we have a good time, and the thing about the post office, it echoes, so you probably hear us in the back having a good time. You know, in the mornings, we like to joke about ball games or different things going on around town, and you might even smell something when you come in. We like to cook down there, you know. Lent's on its way. We're getting close to Lent, so we like to cook fish during Lent, and you may come in. What we have is what they call a hog ear sandwich. We fix fried bologna. I know you probably never heard of that. Fried bologna sandwiches in the morning. So we have a good time. It's a great group of people. Dedicated carriers. You know, I've got one carrier that's a million miler. A million miler is somebody that's drove 1,000,000 miles without an accident, and that is Bill Spalding. You probably know Bill Spalding. But
Wow.
And then, of course, we lost Marshall Simpson. I know everybody's going to know old Marshall.
He
was a million miler too.
Well, yeah.
But that's a big deal for us. Whenever, Springfield, we've gone over 5 years without a motor vehicle accident. knock on wood. And so that's a big deal to the Kentuckiana district. And, they've awarded us with some things. And so we hope to continue that. But we do have a great crew.
I bet Washington County's gotten all kinds of awards.
Well, now the Springfield Post Office has.
Yeah.
We have. We've been awarded on safety awards and efficiency awards and things like that. And we're blessed to have it. And we hope to continue it.
Well, that is great. Now, one thing I have to mention before I let you go is that, of course, now all the mail, even when you take your local mail in, it all has to go to Louisville and come back.
Correct.
And I guess that is for security.
A lot of people think that, I'll have people call and say, the mail's ran, can you check and see if I got this mail piece down there? No mail stays in the building overnight. No first-class mail is allowed to stay in the building. Now, having said that, if someone comes in and says, I have a birthday card and it's today, can you get it to, before the carriers leave, we're glad to hand cancel that thing. We're a small town. We take care of our customers in that way. But all mail, if I mailed you a letter today, would go to Louisville and hopefully come back tomorrow. But what that is because of DPS, delivery point sequencing mail. It is automated. The actual letter mail comes back in route order.
Oh.
So it literally comes in.
So they sort it there.
Machine sort it in Louisville for us. Whereas we used to have, you remember Bill Medley and some of the guys and Dad, they would work all the mail to the carriers back there, and then we would case it slowly but surely and put it in route order. It comes in route order now, so we can take it directly to the street.
Oh, so that's why.
That's why.
Is it also a security issue though too?
Well, it is security issues. We don't want to ever have mail stolen, and we deal with that locally. As the package increase, we have caught people stalking our carriers and waiting for them to put packages on them, and we've handled that. So.
Oh, wow.
That's always a security risk. It's always something that we watch out for. Carriers call me and, hey, I see this or I see that. That's the funny part about it. We're through the neighborhoods every day. We know when things are out of place. And so there's been several instances, and some I can talk about, some I can't, that, we've been able to help, catch certain things and see certain things. So. But we don't like keeping the mail in the building overnight for security reasons. But the number one is because we send the letter mail back so that we can have it in route order. It's an efficiency thing. The carriers can take it directly to the street and deliver it in route order.
Well, gosh, those are just things I didn't think about.
All kinds of stuff.
I know it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Well, I just want to say how much I appreciate the mail service, and you all have always been good to me. I can think of particularly with Kate's invitations for her wedding.
What
a mess that was.
That was all right. We worked out just fine. Worked out just fine, and we're glad. Some people want that Springfield postmark.
Yeah,
it's important.
Yeah.
We're from Springfield. If we're doing wedding invitations, and my daughter's getting married in May.
Yeah.
And I want the people that receives that invitation to see that,
Springfield.
Hey, we're from Springfield. We're proud of it. We want you to know this is where the postmark's from. We're glad to hand cancel anything. So
that's good.
If people are having weddings coming up and they want that Springfield postmark, bring it to our window. It may take us a little bit, but we'll get them we'll get them out that day because we can't leave them in the office.
Yeah.
So we'll hand cancel them for you, and we'll get them out for you.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Is there anything else you would like to mention, Trey, that we haven't?
I think you're a great interviewer. You're doing good, huh? Yeah.
Well, we could go on, but I know
Two
we're on a schedule. I know.
When we run into the grocery with each other, it's 15, 20 minutes every time. So.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate. Yeah, we could really get into some more things on that, but
maybe next time.
We'll do that another time.
All right.
Yeah. So I appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you.
Thanks.